Released in 1991, Delta Force 3, The Killing Game serves as the third and final installment of the original Delta Force franchise. Unlike the first two films, this sequel does not star Chuck Norris, instead focusing on a new team of commandos confronting terrorism on American soil. This shift away from its iconic lead signals the film's transition into lower-budget action territory, blending Cold War-era fears with straight-ahead action tropes. The film stars Nick Cassavetes as Major Charlie Stewart, leading the Delta team with an archetypal blend of bravado and duty. Eric Douglas and Mike Norris, son of Chuck Norris, appear as core team members, bringing varied energy but none of the on-screen charisma or star power that defined earlier entries. Supporting performances are functional rather than memorable, with most characters serving as action fodder in service of the mission plot. Directed by Sam Firstenberg, the third Delta Force film embraces its direct-to-video roots with modest production values and straightforward staging. The action sequences are brisk and utilitarian, more procedural in style than ambitious, emphasizing shootouts and explosions over cinematic flair. While this keeps momentum moving, it also limits the scale and spectacle that fans might expect from theatrical entries. The tone leans toward traditional early 90s action, direct, gritty, and occasionally wooden, lacking the elevated stakes and set pieces of the franchise's debut. The plot centers on a terrorist threat involving an atomic bomb placed in a major U.S. city, forcing the Delta team into a final desperate mission. Strengths include a clear mission objective and a brisk pace that rarely lingers unnecessarily. However, character development is minimal, and the political context feels simplified and cliché. The terrorists are portrayed through broad strokes rather than compelling motivations, and emotional stakes beyond the immediate danger are sparse. Without Norris anchoring the narrative, the film struggles to establish compelling leadership dynamics or memorable interpersonal tension. Where the film could have improved is with greater investment in character depth. Both heroes and villains would have elevated the material. A more nuanced antagonist and richer backstories for the team would have given audiences an emotional hook beyond countdown timers and explosions. Additionally, expanding beyond basic action set pieces with more strategic direction could have provided texture missing from the direct-to-video aesthetic. Delta Force 3, The Killing Game received mixed to poor reception, often cited as a steep drop in quality compared to its predecessors. Critics and audiences note its modest production values and lack of narrative ambition. While it remains part of the franchise canon, its identity as a direct-to-video sequel positions it more as a nostalgic piece of early 90s action than a defining installment. Its legacy lives mostly in genre retrospectives and among fans of straightforward military thrillers rather than mainstream action cinema. Film rating 5 out of 10. A serviceable but uninspired action sequel that lacks the star power, narrative depth, and cinematic energy of its forerunners. Final thoughts. Delta Force 3, The Killing Game delivers the basic elements expected of a military action film: explosions, urgency, and clear stakes. But without compelling characters or creative ambition, it feels like a product of its format rather than a worthy conclusion to a franchise. Like and subscribe, because sometimes the final mission isn't a triumphant climax, it's a last stand in the shadows.
You hold me, baby.